I've been lucky enough to meet some remarkable people in my job as a journalist for the BBC. One of those people is Jim Newman. Now, Jim happens to be my postman in Stroud. Our daughters are friends as well. And Jim one day got talking to me about his life of military service and how this had led to him having PTSD. He was in a particularly bad way at the time. And he said to me, look, Chris, you work in radio. Is there any way you can get this story out there? Because I want to help other people who are in my situation. Well, I'm pleased to say we did. We got the story on BBC Points West on the telly. We also managed to get it on the BBC News website nationally and on my programme on local radio as well. And we got an amazing response from the public, but also a charity in the Bahamas contacted Jim through me and said, look, can we get Jim out here to the Bahamas to partake in some groundbreaking work they do with veterans suffering from PTSD using deep sea diving? So what's it all about? Well, just a short while ago, I was able to catch up with Jim, who is there. And as you'll see from this social media post before I let you hear my chat with him, he's having an amazing time.
Right then, here we go. It's about 11 o'clock in the morning and Kev just brought me to Dean's Blue Hole. Just going to go and get suited up, and I've got the wetsuit on already and about to go in. Here we go.
Just remind us why you're there, how this whole thing happened.
So basically, me and you had an interview at my house back in Stroud, and that was all to do with raising awareness and my journey with suffering with PTSD after spending 25 years in the military. And the daily struggles I have. And that went out locally on the BBC and nationally on their websites. And a charity contacted you. PTSD Scuba, or Progress Through Scuba Diving is how it's the acronym is for this. And they said, this guy is just right for what we're doing. Sent you the link and asked you to get me to contact them. And that was back in October, I believe.
I think it was, wasn't it? Yeah.
And the ball started rolling, and then it started free falling. And next thing you know, they said, because it was one of those, it can't be, if it's too good to be true.
Exactly.
And you kind of walk into these things because nothing like this ever happens to me. And here I am. And it's a very, very small charity, registered in Northern Ireland, but all the work they do is done in Long Island in the Bahamas. I know, pinch myself moment. And the dates were set, and literally they get you out here. Everything's covered. The flights, the accommodation, the food, and it's all run out here by a wonderful gentleman called Kevin James, who is a veteran himself, who served in the army as a physical training instructor, but really got into scuba diving. And over the years, he's lived here now, I believe, for 32 years, him and his wife, Audrey. And they have a wonderful life here. Amazing dog called Rocky. And he's been, I believe, doing this type of thing on and off before the charity for several years. But he was reading into the fact that people suffering from PTSD were getting some positive results from doing deep sea diving, deep diving, and the effects of the diving really only start taking effect from about 60 feet deep. And here on Long Island, there is a very, very unique spot where you literally drive up to the coast and you walk less than 25 meters to the beach. And then right by the water's edge on this beach is a sinkhole, and it's called Dean's Blue Hole. And this sinkhole is 678 feet deep. And during the summer months, it's used by professional free divers to go all the way down to the bottom and all the way back up again in one breath. And it's an amazing place. So there's no need, you just drive there. There's no need to get any boats or anything like that. You get kitted up, walk to the water's edge, and boom, you're in.
Because, Jim, when I first heard about this, I thought it was to do with being underwater and seeing the beauty of the underwater. But from what you're saying, it sounds like there is an effect on the body as well from the depth. So just describe, what's your understanding of how that works?
Right. I'm going to have to kind of use what's been given to me and information.
Sure. Yeah.
For a layman, it's very difficult to understand.
Mm-hmm.
And the brain produces a thing called cortisol. And I believe this is a sticky gummy substance which sticks in the brain. And it is, and over several of these traumatic events, this cortisol kind of sticks in your brain and basically coats the feel-good receptors in your brain and kind of numbs it off. So when you have something like a serotonin hit, it doesn't happen.
Right.
And so that's where that's basically what happens with this is what the boffins who've made out these studies, and there is a study, again I forget what it's called, and so what they've worked out is that when you're diving at depth and you're under pressure, the feel-good feeling of diving, which produces the serotonin, and also the nitrogen in your bloodstream, which is compressed because of the depth you're at, below 60 feet, starts a type of, and I'm going to look at this now, like a scrubbing or cleaning agent, and it kind of strips that cortisol away and flushes it out. It's a bit like a brain dialysis you have, like for kidneys. It's like for brain, and this is done over a period of 2 weeks. So I've been here now, this is my 4th day, and literally after flying in and traveling for the best side of 24 hours, I arrived here in the early afternoon, and I was out on a check dive literally within 2 hours of me arriving on the island. And that was on a bay just down from where we are here at Harbour Breeze.
Wow.
And did a 35 feet dive. Kev was really happy with that, and he went, right then, tomorrow we're going to Dean's Blue Hole, and we were in. And I'm not going to go into the depths, but we went to and beyond 60 feet, and you do a deeper dive to start off with, which is giving you that cleansing nitrogen-induced rush and serotonin. And you stay down there for about half an hour, then coming up incrementally, so it's a safe ascent. And then you have about half an hour to a 45-minute break, have a bite to eat, chill out, chat, see how you're feeling, what's going on, and then you then go and do another dive after that at about half the depth, again at about 60 feet, and that then is just to ensure that all the nitrogen is now cleared out and you're flushed out again. You're not going to have any everlasting, because I think having compressed nitrogen in your bloodstream for any period of time apparently isn't good.
I mean, is it too early to say at the moment whether or not it's had any effect? Do you feel any different?
I do feel different.
Mm.
I don't know whether it's the diving, because I've only done like 2 days of what you would class as that effect diving, the diving that affects how you're feeling. But this place certainly has a feel good. I'm not going to lie.
You get plenty of serotonin from that, definitely. Yeah.
It's like 2 days ago, I'll go down to this isolated beach, and it's like you see in postcards. It's fine white sand. The water is clear as you like, and I was walking along there, and literally in the water, no more than maybe that deep, 1.5 meter wide stingray just slowly just swam past me. I could have touched it, I wasn't, but I mean it was that close, and you can see that ain't going to happen at Skegness or anywhere. And it's like this, what just happened? And it's those type of, and even though the dive and you're down there and you're seeing some amazing things. I mean, there's these fish called tarpon here, and they are, well, you can't even see in the screen how big they are. They're well over 1 meter long, and weighing in, depending on the size, anywhere from between 25 and 40 pounds. And these things come right up close to you, and you're like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
And then you go higher up, and you've got like the dory fish. I forget what they're called in real life, but they're from the film, the animated film, and you've got all those knocking around. And then there's these little ones that are like the pit bulls of the SeaWorld, and I forget what they are, but they're no bigger than an iPhone. And if they were bigger, okay, they would stick it all over you. They are very, very territorial.
There must be a mindfulness and something special about the beauty around you, an environment that's so different to what we see on an everyday basis. That's going to take you out of yourself at least, isn't it?
Oh, 100%. It's quite a fantastic place to do it. And I'm blessed that I've been given the opportunity. And for an extremely novice diver like myself, who did all the try, dive, and tests and all the stuff back in the UK before I came out here, to ensure that I was safe and qualified to do that. Then to be all of a sudden going in and doing these things like straight away is quite amazing. And Kevin's kind of explained it to, like, when you're down there and you're now getting that clean out, and that you're now getting the nitrogen rush and the serotonin. He said it would be like you're on some type of recreational drug. Not that he knows what it is, and nor do I, but you certainly get that really good feeling, that wow factor. And he then just leaves you to just take in the surroundings. He's behind you, and he's there. So if there's any issue, you can turn around, give him the signals, whatever it might be, saying a little bit, well, my ears might be hurting, or whatever it might be, and he will then help. But he's really pleased with myself, because I'm as calm as it like when I'm down there. I'm just taking it in. I've had fantastic instruction, both from him and the instructors in the UK. So confidence in your instructor, confidence in the kit, then you have nothing to worry about, and you're just down there. It's just taking it in and letting the process happen.
I can feel I just know that there's going to be a music mix associated with this eventually, Jim, because it will inspire a suite of music from you. But
the funny thing is, though, Chris, what you can't see is my iPad is actually mounted onto my music decks. I brought my decks out.
Yes, perfect.
I've got it here. Oh,
that's great.
I'm actually looking, apart from the fact I've got my iPad, I'm actually looking at my little music studio here in my room.
Yay.
I have a portable speaker linked up, and I literally, when I'm just chilling out here, there's a TV the size of a tennis court right beside me. I'm just more doing the music.
And Jim, just Are there other veterans out there at the same time as you, or does
No,
it work one-to-one?
it's the one to
So it's one-to-one, but what about talking therapies? Do you have time? Is that not part of this? Do you
no,
get
it's
to...
not.
Okay, so...
Chris, Kev will let me talk about whatever I want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and if I want to talk about something which I've had in the happened in the past, he'll listen and he'll be empathetic to whatever's been said. But at no point does he pressurize any type of talk of anything like that. It's all from me. He's just there to ensure everything's safe, and he allows the dive and the environment to do its work. And that's it. There's no pressure to do anything. And himself and Audrey are just the most wonderful two individuals I've ever had to meet. They really are. And the people here, goodness, just wonderful. And I'm meeting up with an American veteran who lives here, who's good friends with Kevin, and he's a retired US Navy SEAL, which I'm looking forward to that, because I can imagine the banter is going to be thick and fast.
Well, a stunning experience and amazing work that they're doing there as well. In terms of what you can see from your window then, I mean, how long does it take you to get onto the beach? What kind of food are you eating? I bet you feel like you're just part of their family whilst you're there, don't you?
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, I can see the sea from here, and it's about 400 meters away. You're probably thinking, why isn't it closer? Well, this place is slap bang in the middle of any hurricanes, and you don't want buildings right beside the sea, and you want a bit of elevation as well. So this is on the elevated part of the island. It would be very exposed to the wind and that, but it's the surge. And when you go around, you can see boats that are being left on the side of the shore from previous hurricanes.
Right.
And that. So the houses are still around here. I think the last people they had there was about 10 years ago. And so, yeah, it takes about 10 minutes to walk down to the beach. But you just walk down this road. There's no cars. It's hardly anywhere. And so you just walk down there in your flip-flops and shorts with a towel over your shoulder. And they have a big permanent gazebo down there. And you can either get your sun lounger out, or they've got paddle boards. You can do whatever you want in the water, or you just walk around the cove. And it's then you've got to this really tranquil, secluded lagoon area, which is where I saw that stingray saunter past me. And the water's like 25, 26 degrees, and you just chill out in the water and just take it in. Then all you hear is just the water and the local wildlife. And it really is an amazing visual experience, something that me and you are not particularly averse to in Stroud.
Oh, so what a strange place to be, thinking we've just had Christmas, we've had snow here. So you left...
Have you noticed that? Have you had snow?
We've had snow, Jim. We've had very cold. It's -3 today during the day, so it's sunny today, actually. So at least I can feel a little bit of commonality with you there, you know, when you're talking about the beautiful sunshine. So do you eat together in the evenings and breakfast and things?
So there's a fridge here in the room, and they've kind of put stuff in there for me to have breakfast of something I would like. So it's like a bit of a muesli and some bananas, but all juice. Audrey makes all her own food, so she brings homemade buns, and they either buy from the local store things I like. So I'm happy to have. She's cured her own ham, so I have a homemade cured ham, and anything I put in there, which she's actually bought from the shop, is a bit of cheese. So ham and cheese sandwiches for lunch. And then, like, I went round to their house the other night, and homemade spag bol with the lovely kind of ciabatta bread. And then, like last night, we ate here at the Harbour Breeze, and that's all. Had a seafood pasta. Oh, my goodness, I was like, really? This is amazing.
So you arrive there, and I suppose there's a lot to take in, isn't there? And as you said earlier on, you don't know whether or not this is going to have any permanent effect for you, any permanent healing. Did you arrive, would you say, a cynic to this? And how are you feeling about the whole process now?
Well, it would be wrong to say that I wasn't cynical. However, I believe they've had 16 veterans through here, not just veterans from the UK, but also from the US as well. And from what Kevin said so far, I believe, is that those 17 are now 100% PTSD free.
Wow. Gosh, that is one heck of a statistic, isn't it? And
now, I mean, I'm not taking anything away from what mental health services and charities we have back in the UK. And I have spent several weeks having intensive therapy at very well-known veteran charities, residentials. I'm not going to mention any names. And thousands of pounds have been put into those therapies and everything like that. And a year later, I'm still suffering from it. Yeah, I can't say that I'm not going to be the one that doesn't come out of here PTSD free, but if you look at what they've achieved so far, I'd imagine I'm going to go down the same route. I think the only thing that was with me when I arrived here was the fact that I was intensely nervous, anxious, and I don't know if you saw on the social media on my Facebook, I think the first one I got here, I couldn't contain my emotions. I was properly in bits.
Yeah.
Hands down, I've never been to a place more beautiful, more peaceful, and just, it's just awesome here. I've only been here 6 hours. Finding it very emotional. The views are just spectacular. I've done a video of it already, and I'll show that a bit later. It's just overwhelming. And there's so much to take in. The people are just amazing. Kevin, Audrey, who are here, Kev's taking me out diving, and Audrey, his wonderful wife, is bringing me food and sandwiches and meals all the way through the 2 weeks I'm here. I feel really blessed.
Just realizing I was here and the potential of what might happen, and that was really where I kind of just broke down. And, not knowing what was going to happen, but knowing that something special was going to happen, and it was in a very place as well.
And also the kindness shown, as I suppose, is overwhelming, isn't it? Somebody inviting you and wanting to help you is incredibly special in itself, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And you had, I mean, just to touch on this as well, when the interview was broadcast on the BBC, and you mentioned the web article as well, because people knew that you were a postman in Stroud, that was part of the story. You received loads of letters at the sorting office, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. I received many, of which I still carry several with me around all the time, as just kind of a way of reminding myself that there were a lot of people out there thinking about me and wanted to just send a letter, Jim the postman at Stroud, and they got me. And it was and like people were coming up to the front office desk and saying, "Could you give this to Jim, please?"
Wow.
People I didn't even know, or guys were out on their delivery and they're saying, "Is this Jim going to be doing my delivery? I'd like to meet him." They said, "It doesn't work like that. He's set on one place and that's it." And I went, "Oh, right, okay." So yeah, and then I remember walking through Tesco's in the postal stuff literally a day later, and there were people coming and saying, "You're that postman on the TV, aren't you?" I went, "Yeah." So it was quite surreal that people were recognizing me, and they were saying, "What a wonderful story, and I hope you get better soon," and all those type of things. And yeah, it was a big surprise on the reaction I got from so many people, not just from Stroud, but nationally and internationally.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it went. I mean, as we know internationally, Kevin here in the Bahamas saw it, and here I am now. So it went that far.
Well, Jim, we wish you all the best. I hope you enjoy the rest of your stay, and I'll look forward to seeing you when you get back with your suntan.
Right. Now that we've kind of finished, I can now lift up the iPad and I can show you my view.
Oh yeah, show us anyway. Here he goes. Oh my goodness. Oh, that is lovely. Oh, Jim.
So there you go. And I can point it. So right there is the bay that I was talking about. And literally just around the corner is where I saw the stingray. So yeah, it's
that is just beautiful, isn't it? I can see the colour of the sea, the aquamarine colour. It just looks gorgeous. Oh.
But over in that part there, there's cloud on there. But when it gets that colour, it goes the same colour as the pool, and it's just amazing.
Jim, take care of yourself, mate. What are you doing for the rest of today? Are you actually going for a dive today?
I am, yes. Let's see what the time is. Kev will be here in an hour, and he will then we'll have a coffee and kind of talk about the day and what's going to happen, and then we'll go into this pickup truck and drive the 15 minutes down to Dean's Blue Hole, and literally 5 minutes later in the water. And we'll spend lunch down there and then come back after the second dive, and where we are. And then I have the rest of the day off.
Well, thanks for taking the time to do it, Jim. Have a lovely day. Enjoy it, and we'll see you when you get back, yeah?
Yes. Just so you know, okay, at the moment it's 25 degrees here, so there's a 28-degree difference.
Shut up. Yeah, just so you know. Thanks, mate. All right, Jim. Welcome. Take care.
Sending love. Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care. See you, mate. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.